make a motion to come out of executive session.
Give me just a second.
I move that we come out of the executive session.
Give Lauren a minute. She's trying to get it streamed live.
Okay, we're good now. Go ahead. Mr. McCants.
I move that we come out of the executive session.
10:33.
I second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so now we're back into regular session. And then the next item of business is to Pachalaga Museum, taxability of the Pachalaga Museum property and the application for exemption. Let's see, we determined that the property does not meet the standard, that the use of the property is, that since it is not exclusively devoted to charitable purposes. Unless, I guess it'd be do we need a motion that there would be no change to the taxability?
That would be appropriate if that's the will of the board, such a motion.
Okay, I move that there be no change to the taxability to the Pachalaga Museum property.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, the motion carries. And the parcel will remain unchanged. Let's see, moving on, the next item of business is the 2019 ratio study. Lauren, you want to brief us on that? I saw your email from the Department of Audits and Accounts here a week or so ago. I appreciate you sharing that timely with us. So we, where I saw that was sent to various county officials.
Yes, sir. So here we've got the ratio study from the Department of Audits and Accounts dated June the 11th, 2020. Talbot County did fall within the guidelines to collect the 100% public utilities. We were at 38.05. As I had indicated to you guys previously, the ratio has fallen some over the last couple of years since we did the countywide reevaluation in 2017. We would be out of compliance if we fell below the 38.00. So with that being said, we are in compliance for 2019 and with that 38.05 ratio.
Okay, that means we get 100%. I guess that means we still get the 100% of the public utilities, or they're taxed at the 40%, the full 40% ratio. And I did share with Carol a little short memo or little email and copied the board members. I believe she was already on the email string that received it directly from the state, but I did follow it up with an email to her. And then I guess this further validates the concerns you raised last year, Lauren, as you saw the sales prices increasing in our county, where you sounded the alarm. So us having our own study done.
Yes, sir.
So I guess there's no action. This is just a report. Is there any questions for Lauren? If not, we'll move on to the next item. Let's see, we've got the Freeport exemption applications. You want to do these one at a time, Lauren, or?
These are the two that we had remaining for Robinson Paving and Brown Brothers Sand. And if y'all will give me just a minute, I'm gonna ask Janet to come in here to discuss these with you. Hold on just a second.
Okay.
Hey, do you wanna come in here or do you just wanna? Okay, all right, thanks. Okay, she'll be right here. But these are the two that we had tabled at our previous meeting. And so we now have Jan has a recommendation on both of these for us, considering the communications that she's received, and I'll let her give y'all more information on that.
As I recall, we tabled them because y'all was still reviewing them. Is that?
Correct. We
Still
were
under
looking for
review.
additional information.
Right, okay.
Okay, Jan's here. The first application, and I did send these to you guys separately, but due to restrictions, I'm not allowed to preview those applications during the meeting. So the first one was for Robinson Paving. Yeah.
Robinson Paving, and we're going to go ahead and approve that one as it stands right now. Everything, the Schedule B and everything is good to go right now, so we're good with that one.
And so
Okay.
we would need a motion from you guys to approve the Freeport application for Robinson Paving.
Okay, and that's the asphalt plant. They're just north of the school.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I move that we approve the application for Freeport inventory exemption for Robinson Paving.
I second.
Does anybody have any further questions?
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, let's see, then moving on to the next one there, Lauren, you want to brief us on the Brown Brothers?
Okay, go ahead, Janet.
I'm going to recommend denial on this one due to the fact that their Schedule B and their inventories are not matching. I've contacted them twice about it, and their final answer is that their information is complete at this time. So I'll move for denial on that one.
Say again, am I allowed to ask again? Say what you just said about the reason for denial.
She said that their schedules don't match, and each time that she's questioned them about it, they have not been able to reconcile the differences.
So we ready for a motion?
Yes, sir.
I move that we deny Brown Brothers application for Freeport inventory exemption.
I second.
Okay, so we have a motion to deny the Freeport application as recommended by the chief appraiser. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, all right, thanks, Lauren. Thanks, Janet.
Okay.
Good. All right, thanks.
All right, let's see, the next item is personal property audit results.
Yes, sir. And we've been going over some procedures with the audit company, and they've changed the format of the spreadsheet some. And I had asked them to get us some ready for this meeting, but as of this month, they will be submitting all of their audits on the same day every month, and that'll be the last day of the month. And so if we meet the month of July prior to the last day of the month, we probably will not have any audits to review for the July meeting. But then moving forward after that, we will have the audits every month because they're going to be submitting them on the same day. That way they're not, as our meetings change, they're not rushing to get the results ready for us. And so here you will see a different spreadsheet than the one that we've seen in the past. It gives a progress snapshot down here at the bottom, as well as totals, and then where they're at in the audit process. So this month they completed 11 marine audits. Well, they completed 8 marine audits and 3 business audits, as well as 30 marine deletes and 7 business deletes. And then, so that gives a total of 10 business properties processed and 38 marine properties processed. And so does anybody have any questions about this progress summary?
What does the down at the bottom, you got actual in parentheses and contract? Is, of course, actual, that means what they've done. Is contract like a baseline schedule? Is that what you're talking about?
I think this is the actuals, how many accounts we have, and the contract is the amount of accounts that we had at the time the contract was done.
Oh, I see. So there's been either more businesses opened or more people have bought a boat or a plane.
Yes, sir. Or
Okay,
that a
okay.
business that was already existing was discovered, something like that.
Oh, I see. So it's not a track of like I think of a construction project and a schedule, or you're either ahead or behind. Okay, all right, I understand.
So right here at the end, I guess I need to clarify that because the audits over contract, that may be the number total that weren't included in the contract. I don't think that that's like the progress, but I would have to ask them to clarify.
Well, clarify that too, because then, remind me, I thought the contract was lump sum. And is it, I
The
didn't write it.
contract was lump sum, but it was based on the number of accounts we had at that time.
So what is it gonna be prorated as if they're more? Or how does that work?
We haven't discussed it actually.
Okay. But the intent is to cover all accounts, whether we
Yes, sir.
two of them or didn't know. Okay. Okay. Okay, so then this is just your status update of the audit then, the audit progress. Are you
Yes, sir,
satisfied?
but I
Are you,
also have some results. That's
Okay.
the next thing that's
are you,
coming.
are you still satisfied with the overall progress?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have any just the high level questions about the audit and the progress?
No,
Okay, if not, we'll move on to the reports then.
Okay, so now, the first audit summary that we have that we need to approve the notice of assessment on is for Earl Duggard, account 3282. The first year, 2017, the boat was returned for less than it was audited at, and so there'll be a assessment notice sent on the new amount, and then he'll be billed because that brought him over the threshold, $7,500. The 2018 summary will actually result in a little bit of a refund for him, and then the 2019 was correct. So on this account, and then the next one's for Michael Smith. Basically, here in 2017, he just had the one boat. It was under the threshold. In 2018, he added an additional boat. It was returned, but it was audited at more than it was returned for. And so there'll be a difference there for taxation. And then the 2019 year, he returned boat 1 for 606, and it was audited at 0. And then boat 2 was returned at 11, it was audited at 7, and then boat 3 was returned at 15, and it was audited at 16, with a total negative balance for the tax bill, so he will get a refund on that tax year. Any questions on that one?
Let's see, back to the first one you had up there a minute ago. I noticed, of course, it just has I guess there's one boat, but I noticed it increased each year. Is that like getting a new boat each year? What I thought normally they would depreciate.
Okay, so if you see from 2017 to 2018, it was actually audited at $79.90.
Oh, and went down. Okay.
Yes, and then it looks like that boat was sold and another boat was purchased for
Okay.
2019, or that could be that he added a motor to that same boat.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, thanks. Mhm.
So, and then, so we just did the Michael Smith 3388, and then the last one's Johnny Postel, account 3016. Summary here is basically he's going to receive a refund for all 3 years. The boat was returned, boat 2 was returned over the audited amount consistently across all 3 years. So I just need a motion to approve the audits on these 3 accounts.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve Lauren's recommendation on these audits?
Move that we approve Lauren's recommendation on the audits, on these 3 audits.
I concur.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve these 3 audits as presented by Lauren. Are there any further questions? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, all right, thanks. All right. Let's see, Lauren, what's the next item?
The next item is the change of assessment reports for real and personal. And these are, let's see. These are the accounts in which we have received further information since notices went out. The first 5 here are personal property notices. And just remember that this previous value is last year's value. It's not necessarily the amount that was noticed for this year's notice of assessment. And so, but this current value column is what was sent on their 30-day notice. And so we have we've sent 5 30-day corrective notices on personal property. And then on the real property, same thing. This previous value is last year's value. This current value that's showing is the new notice, 30-day corrected notice value. And these can come from any matter of reasons. For instance, I know the first one on this list, Miss Cook contacted us to let us know that there were some issues with the house, and she sent photographs of like some rot and roof leaks and that sort of thing. And so they, like I said, there are various reasons that this 30-day notice may be sent, but it's usually when we receive some additional information that we didn't have prior to the notice.
Street, turn back in on the left, on the road.
So several went down.
Yes, sir. Usually when we send a corrective notice, the taxpayer will have provided some information that for whatever reason, there was a problem with the property that may not have been obvious just from a field inspection.
And let's see, Lauren, you providing this as information only, is that correct? These
Yes,
have
sir.
already,
It's just
these have been-
information only.
these have already been sent.
Changes that have been made to the value so far.
Okay, okay, so no action on our part
Right.
required. Okay, all right, well, thanks for the update. Any more questions for Lauren?
No,
Next, we have the, oh goodness, hold on. Trying to get y'all. There we go. The current appeal list. These are appeals that have been submitted at this point. This first appeal was submitted and Miss Ellison contacted me yesterday and told me that she wished to waive the appeal, that she was satisfied with the value. These two trust properties, the taxpayer brought in some additional information from some inspections that they had done of the home. We made some adjustments and set a 30-day notice. Once that 30 days has passed, this appeal will drop. But the taxpayer has indicated they were satisfied with that 30-day notice. So I don't expect anything further on those two. And then these last three for Marcus Prather, they are active. However, he did not choose a Board of Equalization appeal format. He chose arbitration. And so the letter has been mailed on those arbitration properties. And once that letter is mailed, he has a certain amount of time to provide us with a appraisal by he has to hire a real estate appraiser and get an appraisal done. And then he has to submit that to us within a certain amount of time. Once that appraisal is submitted, we have so many days to act on it, to either match the appraisal or deny it. And then it moves forward at that point. If he does not submit the appraisal within the correct number of days, then the appeal will automatically drop off on those three properties as well. Any questions?
Okay.
no, I don't.
I said, Lauren, I guess this list and the one you just showed us where you sent revised 30-day notices basically is the folks that have come in since notices were mailed earlier this month.
Yes, sir. And like, for instance, on the Isaac Neal Trust, he did provide us, he filed an appeal, but then he provided us the information. And so his name was on that 30-day notice list.
Mhm.
Whereas, for instance, Marcus Prather has not provided us with an appraisal based on his appeal for arbitration. And once he did, if we accepted that appraisal, then his name would appear on that 30-day list. But at this point,
Right.
It does not appear there because he has not submitted us any additional information.
Right. So they have to provide something that you can hang your hat on, so to speak. With, in order to make a change, you've got to have a reason for a change.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And for instance, some of the people that are on the other 30-day list, they may have just contacted us and provided us the information without filing an appeal. So either way works. But that would be the reason that there are some 30-day changes that aren't on the appeal list.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thanks for the report then. And then this appeal list becomes a running list next month. It may have these same names plus additional ones.
Correct.
Okay.
But the 30-day ones will fall off after the 30-day period if they don't notify us that they want to continue the appeal. So,
Okay.
Those may or may not be on there, but Dr. Neal has indicated that he's satisfied, so I would expect these two to just drop off the list once the 30-day period's passed.
Okay. All right.
I don't need any action there either.
Okay. That's it.
The next item is the homestead exemption applications. I've got a list here, and you can see that we've got it divided into digest year 2020 and digest year 21. And I understand that we're past the April 1 deadline for the digest year 2020. But we had that memo from the Department of Revenue about, they did not state for us to extend this deadline, but they did indicate that the current pandemic situation would impact that if there was an appeal made. And so for most of these, like there was, for instance, the LaPlace property and the Balcom, those homesteads were removed in error. What happened was there was a deed transfer, maybe adding a person, like Mr. LaPlace owned this property, but he added his son to the deed. And anytime that there's a deed transfer, that exemption drops off, but it did not. Mr. LaPlace continued to live there, and so that was removed in error. The same with the Balcom property. On Patricia Thomas, she got her assessment notice and she was receiving an S4 homestead exemption. And she came in and told us that that was incorrect, that she actually did not meet the age requirement and that she wanted her exemption corrected down to the S1. So that's why that one is there. And then the Sanders, they contacted us and stated that they were late making their homestead application due to the COVID situation. So all four of those, we're going to recommend approval for the current digest year. And then these down here at the bottom are for 2021, and they'll go on for the next digest year, and they're both the S4 homesteads.
Okay, so do we have a motion to approve the homestead applications as presented?
I want one motion for the 2020 and one motion for the 2021s, please.
Okay, and the 2020 are corrections. So do we have a motion to approve the homestead applications for digest year 2020?
Move that we approve the homestead applications for digest year 2020.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, motion carries. And let's so move on to digest year 2021. We have two applications with a recommendation of approval. Do we have a motion to approve the homestead applications for as presented by the chief appraiser?
I move that we approve the homestead exemption applications for 2021.
I concur. I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If none, all those in favor say aye.
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 All right, let's see, Lauren, then you move on to your CUVA applications.
Yes, sir. Here's the list for the conservation exemptions. You can see here that the first four are continuations. That would be from a transfer. They came in during the period. They have 30 days after April 1st. They came in during that period. And then we have a renewal and a release for the next three parcels, and then another continuation. As you can see here, it says in this column. And then the final one, we've got two new that were done in lieu of an appeal during the 45-day notice period. So we're recommending all of those for approval.
Okay, let's see, do we have a motion to approve the CUVA applications as presented?
I move that we approve the CUVA exemptions as presented.
I second.
Let's see, Lauren, on the one on my property down there, the 4703B, make sure Quentin, he was gonna pencil in the minus the 2 acres for the house.
Yes,
When he
sir.
printed it, it had the full 100%, and I pointed that out to him.
Okay, yeah, I'll make sure.
make sure if you got it in the stack there with you, or is it?
Yes, sir, I'll pull it. Hold on just a second. Yes, sir, it's correct. It automatically prints that full acreage and he has to do that every time, so it's routine.
And so he penciled it in.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Thanks for double checking that. Okay. Any other questions about the applications? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Let's see, Alma, did you?
Yeah, I said aye.
Yeah, okay, thanks. All right, the motion passes. All right, let's see. Then Lauren, you're moving on to the flip applications. Looks like you
Yes,
got
sir, and
two
we've got
recommended approval.
continuations on these from a transfer. We're recommending approval on all of those as well.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the flipper applications as presented?
I move that we approve the flipper applications as presented.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so the next item is
Let's
members
see,
matter.
Sandra, did you voted? Did you say aye?
She did.
Yeah, aye.
Okay, all right, motion passes, okay. All right, so then let's see, the next item is member matters.
Yes, and I'm gonna need y'all to give me just 1 second. I'll be right back.
Almost finished. How are you doing? We're on the. Are you leaving?
Okay, sorry.
All right, let's see, we're at member matters. Let's see, I was gonna share with everyone, I guess it was since our last meeting, I telephoned Carol and then I followed it up with a detailed email, updating her on, what was going on with our board, and in particular about our sales study. And then did y'all see the email that I sent to Carol, just letting her know? And I think too, it was about the time the notices were going out. So I wanted to give her a heads up that they were being mailed. And I told her it looked like we were pretty much on track, to get the digest to meet all the timelines and so forth, even though we were probably about 2 weeks later than we normally would be mailing notices. But we had a good visit, brief visit on the phone. But then, and also, I'm not aware of any questions or anything on our budget submittal. I don't guess, Lauren, have you had any questions or any?
I haven't heard anything, no, sir.
more.
I know that the the Board of Commissioners did have a budget meeting yesterday morning, but I haven't heard anything further.
Okay.
I think they agreed to go ahead and advertise. So there's nothing, they're going to go ahead with it as it was presented evidently.
Okay, so that's probably good news. Okay.
Anything else there?
Let's see if there's nobody else has anything else. We'll move on to Lauren, to your update.
Okay, I've just got a couple of things I was wanting to touch base with you guys about. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at the website, but as we had discussed previously, and this one that I have pulled up is just the first one that came up alphabetically. I didn't pick or choose anything, but if you can see here, there's the button here for the assessment notice. And so those notices are available to all taxpayers on the Q Public website. If there's a 30-day corrected notice sent, that is also available, and I'll show y'all that right quick too. Let me find one of these accounts that has a corrected notice on it. You can see here, this account, you see the 2020 assessment notice, and then this one received a 30-day corrected notice. So that is below there. So both notices are available if there's a corrected notice that's been sent. We've had a good response with that. The taxpayers have been very positive about being able to find their notices there. And so I feel like we made a good decision to have these available for viewing on the website. And so that's one thing that I wanted to let you guys know. And then secondly, I'm sure that you guys are kind of keeping your finger on the pulse of the situation about the COVID-19. We have had a tremendous increase in cases in Talbot County over the last 2 weeks. And so Jamie and I put our heads together and we came up with the solution that we would try our hand at having a drive-through service for the taxpayers that would allow, it would keep people out of the building completely, and it would allow them to drive under the carport. We've put a video intercom system out there, and so we can, when they pull in, they can mash a button, the bell rings, we get notice here which office they need, and at that point, whatever information they need, we're taking it outside so that any contact that we have with customers will be outdoors instead of in the closed-in space in the building, and it would allow us to maintain the proper social distancing recommendations. We've just been doing that since Monday, but we've received a lot of positive feedback. We haven't had any major issues. So as far as right now goes, we're going to continue with that. And I just wanted to let you guys know that that's where we were on that front.
Okay, well, thanks for the update then. That seems to be working well then. If you got a sign out there, just
We've got a sign on the front door. We had some signs donated to us that we've got a drive-through sign that we posted up above the carport, and we've got some errors, and the road department brought over some barricades and some cones so that we've got that out with some string directing people where they need to go. We really felt like in the beginning there may be some confusion, but there hasn't been. People seem happy with the arrangement. We understand that there's some wait time that they may not be used to, but with this procedure, you know, they're able to wait in their car, whereas before they were waiting on the sidewalk in the heat. We were having problems with people maintaining the distance, and we were having problems with too many people trying to be in the lobby at one time. And so this has resolved those issues. And we're trying it and we're doing our best.
okay. All right, thanks. Any questions for Lauren about her update?
Has anyone in the tax office tested positive?
No one in this office has tested positive. There have been some positive tests in the courthouse. And I know that the local restaurant is temporarily closed because they've had some positive tests there. So it's my understanding that within the last week, a week or 2 weeks, we've had over 20 positive cases in the county and a couple of new deaths as well. So it's concerning, but we're doing our best to continue to help customers and keep everybody safe.
That's all you can do.
Yes, sir. And Leanne she's been very helpful. She's brought us some face masks and some hand sanitizer. And it's my understanding that they are working with emergency services, the county commissioner's office, to kind of come up with guidelines for all the offices to follow. So it's just, we're just playing it by ear. That's all I know to say, and trying to be proactive.
Okay, well, thanks for keeping us posted on what's going on too.
Yes, sir.
Let's see, on your website here, are there any more bells and whistles that's been added?
Let's see. Well, as you can see, we put staff photos up. We do have the ability for me to, I'm trying to get to the right.
But now you're on the public site, so this is what anybody can do.
Yes, this is available for all customers. We have
And if I understand, they can do their appeal by electronic now, is that right? Or
well, they cannot do their appeal, like submit it through the website, but we do have the forms link here, and on that forms link is an assessment appeal form. All that information can be typed in, and then they can save it as a PDF and email it to us. With anybody that requests an appeal form, we are pre-filling it for them and emailing it. We have been taking homestead applications via email. We're trying our best to accommodate people, and we have been sending conservation applications through via email. Then the owner can print it and mail the originals back to us. On this first page, on the home page, I've got control of this announcement that's in red, so I can edit that. I think that's basically what's available on the website, and it updates every night. And so what the most recent information we have in our system is available the next day on the online portal.
okay, and up there at the corner, the BOA minutes, that's something, that's a
Oh,
new
yes,
something.
sir. I forgot about that. So the BOA minutes, there's an archive available of past monthly minutes. As you guys know, we are behind approving the 2020 minutes. I do have them printed, and y'all have been receiving the drafts as required within the time period after the meeting, but those have not been signed, and so they're not posted. But you can click here and you can find the agenda and the minutes packet. Like that one, the minutes have not been approved on it. Let's see, this January. Like here for the January, the minutes have been approved. They're typed there and signed, and then the minutes packet is included as well. The only thing, as far as the entire minutes packet, I'm not posting that, but I am posting the minutes and any homesteads, conservations, or flippas that were approved during those minutes will be available in that summary chart, like so. You guys have any questions about that? We did get a recommendation during our 3-year review the last time to have the minutes available for public viewing on a forum like our website. And until we upgraded our system to do the document access, like with the assessment notices, we did not have the ability to link those on the web page. And once we added that service to host the assessment notices, we then had the ability to host the minutes. And so I posted those minutes and made them available per the recommendation of 3-year review.
Okay, all right, thanks, Lauren. That's, and that's something new that's been added since our last meeting, right?
Yes, sir.
And so, of course, what you're trying to do is all the audit findings and recommendations, you're trying to check them off that we've done them,
Yes, sir.
addressed them, okay. And that looks fine. I think I noticed like the Board of Commissioners minutes, they have the minutes and it refers to other things that, well, like that presentation I did back in November that, you know, there were handouts they had, but they're not included in their minutes that are on the web. But
Right, and I won't be, the only handouts or whatever that will be included are like the list of homesteads that were approved, the list of conservations, because a lot of times in the actual minutes, it will be stated, like for other counties, which parcels were approved for homestead, and we
oh, I
made
see. Since you don't put the list in the minutes, right? Okay.
correct, yes, sir.
Or you refer to it as see attached. Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
And I don't have anything else.
All right. Anybody have anything for Lauren? Any questions or concerns? If
I
not,
do
let's
not.
see. Let's see, Lauren, what's the next one? Is it to set the next meeting date?
That's right, yes, sir. I mean, I'm basically good for the month of July. Do y'all want to keep it towards the end of the month again?
I'm good with,
Y'all want to say tentatively for July 22nd? That'd be a Wednesday. I guess 4 weeks from today.
That's fine, 10 a.m.?
Yes.
Is that good with you, Sandra, Mr. McCants?
Yeah, that's fine.
yes.
Okay, and I'm assuming that we're going to plan on Zooming, and if anything changes and we can have an open meeting, that we'll do that.
Okay.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
yes, we're planning. Mhm.
Okay, all right.
We'll pull back up your agenda, Lauren. Are we at the bottom?
Yeah, well, the next thing is the, hold on. Yeah, so we scheduled the meeting and then we're at adjournment.
Okay. If nobody else has anything else, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second,
And that's at 11:21.
Okay, so a motion to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
aye.
Okay, so we stand adjourned, and thanks everyone, and thanks Lauren and you and your staff. Thank you staff for all y'all do and your perseverance during this trying time.
All right, great, thank you.